Alright guys, Melissa here. Thanks for joining me. As I talked about before, I will be going more pro-life with my work on YouTube. I will be learning YouTube. I plan on going to Video Summit next year, and I plan on working on my YouTube channel more. And the reason for this is for the sake of the unborn, those who don't have a voice. And that is what my channel will be dedicated to more. I will be moving stuff with Court and Kevin Leandro and all that into my marriage sphere, mixing it up now and then, because marriage is a huge part of being pro-life. It's huge. In order to have children, you must have a husband, right? Or a boyfriend, or ideally a husband. And when Kevin Leandro thinks it's okay to take that away and make it a joke and haha, it's so funny to make a fool of himself in court, it's not okay. When I first got divorce papers and Kevin Leandro was the non-attorney, I did not know who he was. And he presented himself as like this big wig, big shot. But once you get to know him and watch his YouTube channel and everything, you realize he's really an insecure man. Very insecure, doesn't know what he's talking about half the time. And so if I knew this when I had started, I would have been in a better position, but I didn't know that. I didn't know who this was. I didn't know who my husband's new friends were. So let's talk pro-life a minute. So I was just watching AllieBethStuckey had a post from about a year ago with this girl saying, oh my goodness, some of my friends in school, this girl got pregnant on accident and she's actually keeping the baby. And she's like, I'm pro-choice, so why would you keep it? Why not get rid of it? And there was a lot of, pushback to what this girl was saying. But honestly, you are dealing with a high school girl. She is thinking just get rid of it because she hasn't been a mother yet. She doesn't have that intimacy yet with being pregnant, knowing what it's like being a child. And being a child and immature in that way. And I'm not excusing it, but until you live it, sometimes you don't understand everything about motherhood. And then we have Mrs. Trump, Melania Trump, saying that she's going to protect the children, and bring home the children from war. And a lot of people are like, oh, we're so happy that we have a first lady who's talking about this. Yes, wonderful. Children do need to be protected. But that includes the children in the womb, the unborn. So I am not impressed with Melania. I'm really not. When she is for abortion and saying it's a woman's choice, that really contradicts the work she's doing now to help women, or I should say to help children who are already alive. That is a good work, no question about it. But when you're helping these children and you're not helping the children here in America who are being killed by the millions with abortion, you are hurting America, okay? So, there's a couple pregnant women I've seen recently, and one, she looks great. She looks amazing. She's 9 months along, and I see her every now and then, and I'm like, wow, she looks great for being pregnant. You can tell her face is more filled out now as she's, carrying, and she looks ready to pop anytime. So she looks so happy. There's something about women being pregnant that I think they have a glow like no other. And then there's another girl who is pregnant, and she looks wonderful. Just that little tummy. It is a beautiful thing, motherhood. And when we think, I don't know where the disconnect in society is. When we look at a woman who is carrying and we see, wow, look at her, she's trying to work while being pregnant. Look at that extra load she's carrying, Why would anyone think it's okay to take a pregnant woman a woman who is already a mother and, have her lay on a table and kill her child. That is exactly what abortion is. And, I saw a billboard, was it today? Yeah, when I was driving around saying, Dad, you're already a great father. You're already a good dad. And I love these billboards. I'm seeing, a bench that was pro-life this week. We need to get the message out that it's not okay to kill your child. And I think if you see a woman that far along, most people would be like, no, it's not okay to kill that child. But the subtle thing is when you're first finding out you're pregnant, when you first find out because you don't look it, nobody can tell you're pregnant at first. And that is that little window where people think it's okay to abort. And of course, we do have people aborting at 8 and 9 months, which is even more disgusting. But they seem to think that little window of time when that baby is first conceived, that it's okay to kill that child. And it's not okay. And our society is getting worse with abortion. The FDA has approved more abortion stuff. I had a comment on my AllieBethStuckey post about Taylor Swift. I was saying, that's a debatable issue, how we think about Taylor Swift and her music. But then she said, I noticed you have a voice for pro-life. Thank you for standing for pro-life. And I said, that is a very black and white issue. Abortion is black and white. It is murder. There is no debatable issue with abortion. It is the number one issue of our time. And when we have a first lady who is okay with America's mothers killing their children, that is not acceptable. And, I voted for Trump, and I, have voted for him as, a tool God is using to do many things. But when we see, people praising, peace and saying, peace, peace, we're finally going to have peace, we know that God has said he's coming soon. So, we need to protect moms more. We need more support. We need to help them out more. I just saw a cleaning business saying, and this was kind of my idea with my cleaning business, saying, I've partnered, it was a laundry business. I've partnered with a cleaning business and we want to give a mom a break, nominate someone. We're giving a mom a break to be able to have her home cleaned and her laundry done for the day. And I'm like, that's a great idea. And when I have talked about my business, which I have put on hold right now, a lot of people are like, I love your social impact. So I'm taking a minute just to pull back and think about what I want to do. But we definitely need to help moms, be able to help them keep their babies. I did call somebody today, 2 people, and one is for a nonprofit. So I'm like, okay, I've got to get my nonprofit going now. And how do I want to help moms more? So I am now working on that. That is my next project coming up. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.